Everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is September 5th, 2025, and UEFA will be meeting in Albania next week. And they will be deciding the Barcelona Villarreal match. Also, Barcelona intensifying their talks with Frenkie de Jong. And finally, Lionel Messi mentioning his time at Barcelona during his final speech ahead of or in front of his home crowd. We have a lot to discuss. So let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. We'll begin this video with the news that UEFA's executive committee will be meeting on September 11th in Tirana, Albania, in order to decide the stadiums for all the finals of the European competitions in 2027, including, of course, the Men's Champions League, where they're currently speculating that most likely it's going to be the Atletico de Madrid stadium, but of course we'll see. And during this meeting, it's expected that UEFA will be discussing and deciding on whether the Villarreal versus Barcelona match can be held in Miami. Now, as you know, Javier Tebas has been trying to play or have La Liga matches played in the U.S. in order to generate more money. He's tried it 3 times. This final third time was the winner, or third one is a charm, I guess, because this time the Royal Spanish Football Federation actually approved the plan to have the Villarreal versus Barcelona match be played in Miami. And of course, now that the Royal Spanish Football Federation have approved it, the next step is UEFA. Now, UEFA's president, Alexander Seferin, said in an interview most recently, which I reported about in a video, that he does not like that European matches being played outside of Europe. However, he also said that legally speaking, there wasn't much that they could do. So, well, we could see UEFA end up approving this. And if they do, then most likely the Villarreal versus Barcelona match will be played in Miami. Hopefully not, because again, I'm very against this. I think these matches should be played where they're supposed to be played. I already hate the fact that the Spanish Super Cup is played in Saudi Arabia. I would hate to also see La Liga matches being played in another country, even if it's in the U.S., and even though I would benefit highly from it because I could, see it here. But I think subjecting the players to these extra trips, very long flights, time zones, etc., it's completely unnecessary. Anyways, on to that next bit of news, because ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona are set to reach out to Andreas Christensen, kind of like to feel him out to see whether he will be interested in extending his contract. Now, as you know, Christensen's contract expires next summer of 2026. Deco was trying to push Christensen out of the club this past summer. However, the player insisted on staying, and once Iñigo Martinez decided to join Al Nassr, then of course Barcelona or Deco decided that, well, this was not the time to be pushing a center back out, and more so because Hansi Flick counts on Andreas Christensen, who I'm pretty sure if he didn't have so many injuries, he would be playing a lot more under the German coach. Now, since Christensen is currently in the final year of his contract, as you know, Deco has this silly rule that any player during his final year, they either renew or they leave. It's reported that Deco will be reaching out to Andreas Christensen to see whether he will be interested in extending his contract, since, well, he's not leaving and Flick is interested in him and he is in his final year of contract. And again, this is an incredibly silly rule. I think that shouldn't be the only 2 options. There's also other options like, I don't know, loan or just let the player walk. Oriol Romeo, for example, he was entering his final year of his contract. What if Oriol Romeo had said, I don't want to leave? Well, if the only 2 options are leave or renew, what? Are we going to renew Romeo? I mean, I don't know what Deco's doing. But anyways, Deco is set to reach out to Andreas Christensen. We'll see what the player says. And of course, my question to you is, do you think Christensen should be renewed? Because on one hand, great center back. I do prefer Christensen to Ronald Araujo under Flick. But on the other hand, he is 29 years old. He is injury prone. So, of course, let me know down below in the comment section whether you would like to see Andreas Christensen renewed or not. Now, speaking of contract renewals, Barcelona are stepping up and intensifying their talks with Frenkie de Jong. As you know, Barcelona have been trying to renew Frenkie de Jong for quite some time. I think coming up on 2 years almost. Frankie's contract does expire in the summer of 2026. Frenkie de Jong informed the club during this summer that he wanted to extend his contract with Barcelona. However, it seemed like his agent, Ali Dursun, was the one getting in the way of this contract renewal. So Frenkie de Jong ended up firing him. That took some time because Frenkie had to, sever all ties with Ali Dursun. Then he hired lawyers to represent him. And now that he has representation, Barcelona want to, resume the talks. They want to extend the contract of Frenkie de Jong by at least 2 more years, ideally 3 until 2029. And of course, they want him to reduce his salary. They want to restructure his salary because he currently has the highest salary in the squad, a salary that Barcelona simply cannot afford. So Barcelona are looking to talk with Frenkie de Jong as soon as he comes back from international break. And as I announced in the previous video, Frenkie de Jong has abandoned the Netherlands training camp due to discomfort or an injury or not being fit enough, I guess. So we could be seeing these talks resumed pretty soon because Hansi Flick wants Frenkie de Jong to extend. Frankie's saying that he wants to extend. So, of course, it's just a matter of sitting down and ironing out the details. Now, one more player that Barcelona want to renew is, of course, Eric Garcia, someone who Hansi Flick also counts on, someone who's become very important under Hansi Flick's scheme, someone who is versatile, can play as a right back, center back, left back, defensive mid, referee, water boy, towel boy, doctor, physiotherapist. I mean, this guy can do it all. And Hansi Flick, of course, really counts on him. And Barcelona are set to resume talks next week. Now, Barcelona had already reached out to Eric Garcia, informed him that they wanted to renew him. Eric Garcia had told the club, yes, I want to renew. So they had, kind of initiated talks, but then those talks stopped because Barcelona, of course, had other priorities during the summer transfer market. They needed to finish their signings like Juan Garcia, Rashford, etc. They needed to finish offloading players like Pau Victor and Paulo Torre. And, of course, they also needed to register players. The players that they signed. And now that all those priorities have been finished and the summer transfer market is closed, Barcelona want to resume talks with Eric Garcia. They want to sit down, reach an agreement to extend the contract of the Barcelona defender, and they are set to do it next week. Now, we will end today's video with the news that Lionel Andreas Messi played the final home match with the Argentine national team yesterday, where Argentina defeated Venezuela 3-0 with Lionel Messi scoring a brace. He almost scored a hat-trick, but his third goal was ruled offsides. And Lionel Messi did give a speech at the end of that match. And during that speech, he addressed, or mentioned, I should say, FC Barcelona when he said the following: "For many years, I had the love in Barcelona, and I still have it. My dream was to have it here, in my country, with my people." So yes, Lionel Messi, you do still have the love of all of us Barcelona fans. Thank you for all the amazing memories you gave us. Thank you for everything that you did, not only for FC Barcelona, but for football, because I'm truly blessed to be alive during the Messi era and that I was able to witness such greatness and such magic. And the fact that we're seeing Messi's career nearing its end, it's extremely sad, not just as a Barca fan, but as a football fan. But nonetheless, the happiness of being able to watch Messi for 20 years, of course, will always surpass the sadness of seeing him leave. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. I did upload another video a few moments ago. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Visca Barça.